Hi Teaquilters. Today is, let's see, Wednesday, April 8th. Let me check. Yes. And it is 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And I just had to step out and go get another box that came in for blocks today. Okay. So I'll put that one on the floor. I got one here. So we'll wait a few minutes for people to come in. I don't have a whole lot to do today. And I guess you're seeing a whole lot of my rack. Let me see if I can adjust you. Push that back. See if I can slide this over. Sorry guys. I have a very small room, so and I'm burning up. In the Midwest today, my house saying it's 87 in here. I don't know. Let me see what the temperature is outside. It's 77 outside. I'm burning up, and it's been 2 days of this. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be cold, so I did not cut the air on just so I could cut it right back off. So we just pull this up so I can get to the chat comments. Let's see. Got Diane 57 in here first. Hi Diane. And we have Vivian Calvi is here. Hi Vivian. Vivian, I've been thinking about you, girl. I've been using that soap. I love that lavender one. And I have used it all the way down to nothing in the hand, okay? My husband normally throws soap out real fast. I told him not to touch my soap. It's really good. And Diane saying she made sure she was on time tonight. Carol Green is here. Hi, Carol. She says hi, T and everyone. And let's see. Leetta Bryan is here. Hi, Leetta. She says hello, T and everyone. And my brother is here early. Wow. He says, I'm here, sis. You got my thumbs up already. And how's everybody? Thank you. So thanks for the reminder. I'm going to have to leave y'all one more time because my brother popped in here. I forgot something came in the mail. Sorry about that, but I did want to talk about it because I mentioned it last week. So we'll just put this over here for right now. Let's see. And Diane said they've been going bunkers, but we're good. You know, I haven't been outside in a week. I went out today just to get people blocks from the post office. And then I sit there and try to time it by the number of cars that are on the parking lot. Now, the state of Missouri is on an official lockdown unless you're out doing essential business. And I figured since the post office was open that was essential business. But other than that, I have not been out my house in a week. So, yeah. I did that today just so I could pick up people boxes because I knew that Ellen had mailed hers, and I also knew that Tiffany said she was going to mail hers, but then she texted me last night. So I picked up those 2 boxes. Let's see who else is here. Bonita Nance is here. Hi, Bonita. She says, hello, Miss T and everyone. And I do not have on my extra light because I'm already burning up. And I wasn't going to do that. I got the ceiling fan on high this time. And then Cheryl Bean is here, says, hi, Tan, everyone. Hope everyone is healthy and happy. I wish the same for everybody as well. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Maria Mayer is here. She says, hi, Tan, everyone. Hi, Maria. After I got back from the post office, I realized you called me. But then I started running around doing stuff, so I didn't call you back. But I appreciate your telephone call. I am doing well. Just a little depressed is all, more than anything else with the whole state of the world. So, yeah, that's about it. Darlene Former says, greetings from Northern Virginia. We also have June Hansen says, hi, T and everyone. It's only 52 here today, but it was 78 yesterday. And I sent your money today. Okay. Michael is here. He says, Kevin and I miss you. Hi, Michael. I'm glad that they've reduced the number of people on these airplanes. Sharice Fofi is here, says hello to everyone. Cheryl Clute says good evening. She was talking to Diane and somebody else, so I'm sure she must have said hello to everyone else and Miss T up at the top. Hi, Cheryl. Shakita Pearson is here, says hi, T and everyone. Exciting news. My blocks are in the mail. Woohoo, Shakita. She got them done. Bonita really is going to be the last one, huh? Let's go back down. I read from the bottom up. Francesca is here, says hello to everyone. Hi, Francesca. June Billing says hi, T and everyone. Nisima says it's waving at everybody. Mary is here, says hi, everyone. I had to go into UPS and the bank today. It felt really strange. I'm happy to be back home. Yes, it is. It's almost like ghost towns everywhere you go. Shut up, Michael. Talking about I look good glistening. I have been hot all freaking day. I have done a little computer work. I packaged up an order. I took it to the post office when I went to the post office instead of giving it to the mail person. Because she ran early today. She's trying to get herself out of this stuff too. So I don't blame her. But she came at 11 today. And what else did I do today? I loaded a quilt, took some quilt pictures. And I was done for the day. It's so hot in this house. I fell asleep after I came home from the post office. Then I woke up and realized I had fallen asleep because I didn't intend to. So then I was rushing around trying to get ready. Doris O says, hello, my quilting friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I have made 10 blocks with the SAL, with the Sew Along with Pat Sloan. I promised myself not to get behind. All right. I'm not doing that one. I just decided I have so many things, especially with me doing Scrap Club as well, that I have not done that. It was over 90 in Topeka today. Carrie Davis is here. She says, hello, Carrie from Woodbridge, Virginia. Welcome to the chat. Carl says, keep looking up. Yes, honey. And Diane talking about she would probably be last getting her blocks in. LA Quinn says, hi, T and all, waiting for snowstorm on Friday. Snow? Oh, my goodness. Are you in Canada or something? I know it had snowed a few days ago in Vancouver. Vicki Lemire here saying hello. Hi, Vicki. Shirley Rayleigh is here. She says, hey, T and everyone. Been looking forward to this all day. All right. I don't have anything planned, so we just here hanging out today. It's been too much for me to be moving around these last couple of days. Cheryl says she's going to be the last one with these blocks. So these masks are kicking her. So everybody's kind of like put regular sewing aside to work on their mask. Now, this week I did finish my purple quilt where I showed you where I was making those 4 patches. Yeah, I didn't show you any more of that because it's actually going to be a for sale pattern. It was one of the patterns that we used in our Christmas sew along last year, and so now I am making sure all the measurements are correct, which EQ gave me a hard time with that because it was an on point quilt setting, and so it didn't give me the correct measurement. So it was a big mess with that pattern. So since I had to actually sew it, redo the directions, I decided I would make it a for sale pattern. So that's what I'm going to quilt next. This week I did quilt 5 customer quilts. While I was out last Wednesday picking up stuff from the post office, I met her at a service station, so she didn't have to come all the way to my house, and picked up 5 quilt tops. So I've done all 5 of her quilt tops. I'm going to now go ahead and quilt my quilt, probably starting tomorrow. I do have the backing already loaded, but I probably won't do anything tonight. It's just way too hot in this house. So that's all that I've done all week other than cook. You know, I'm like everybody else. I'm tired of cooking. I told my husband, because I have days where I figure out what we're going to eat, and then he have days where it's his turn to figure out, and 90% of the time he decides we're going to eat out when it's his turn. And I told him I was not eating out. I know that we need to support these restaurants and everything, but I just can't do it. If you don't know who has the coronavirus when you are moving around, and so, you know, no, I can't do it. So I have not been eating out since we've been on lockdown. So I have been doing a whole lot more cooking. So I'm kind of tired of cooking and tired of looking at dishes. Okay. So that's been my week. I did finish my quilt tops, quilted 5 quilts, and been cooking. See if anybody else came in. Oh, she lives in Maine. That's where it's gonna snow. Bonita says she's talking to Cheryl. Peggy is here. Hi, Peggy. She says hi, TNT Quilters. And Bonita says, that's good. You have a lot of work. I was so happy that that lady called me. It was a referral from a friend that I used to work with at my old job that I retired from. And this lady referred her friend that she met her since I've not been at the place. So it's a new friend, but she referred her to me for me to do her quilting. So I was really happy to have some work to do. So, and I know a lot of long armors had been, I saw in some groups where they were talking about they weren't accepting any work during this time. I decided to go ahead and accept the work because I looked up how long the virus would last on particular items, and it was basically saying just 3 or 4 hours on cloth. So what I did was I met with her, and I have a SUV where the back opens up, and so I just had her put her stuff in the back. I did not even talk with her. Everything that we did through emails and text messages. And then she put her stuff in the back. I knew what she wanted. I knew I had already given her design choices, so she had picked her design she wanted. And so I did not talk with her. Like I didn't really meet her per se. It was kind of strange to be meeting people like that. But she put her stuff in my car. I came back home. I let it sit out there for a few hours in my car. And then I took a can of Lysol out to my car and Lysoled everything down before I brought it into my house. And I let it sit in my house till the next day. And then I started working on her quilt tops. So there is a way to do that. I just don't want, people were saying to let stuff sit outside on your porch for 2 or 3 hours in the heat. I am not going to sit somebody's quilt outside or any packaging outside for that long. It'll be gone with all these people still in packages nowadays. So I felt better leaving it in my car for a few hours. And then, like I said, I just sprayed Lysol on everything that was a surface that you could touch per se. And then I just brought it into the house and then let it sit again. So I feel like it was okay. I washed my hands in between each quilt of hers. So it's a way that you can work around it. You just got to think about it. So yes, I'm glad to have that work. All of my lectures and workshops and stuff were canceled, which I expected it to be, which I wasn't going to go anyway. So yeah. June says we are to get rain and snow on Easter. Got most masks done, just a few left, then on to a quilt. Bianca, quilt a quilt Says, me too. I don't want to cook anymore. Exactly. Welcome to the live chat, Bianca. Mary says, what have you been cooking at tea? Anything. My husband is a meat lover, so I have to cook meat for him. Like, if I make chicken, I'll eat one piece of chicken, and then he'll eat like 3 or 4 pieces of chicken. So I try, whatever I cook, I try to cook for 2 days. When it was colder, I was making a lot of soups, like chili. I made corn chowder soup, potato soup, and then I've made like meatloaves. You know, all the stuff I've been cooking, child. What did I cook the other day? Yesterday I made chicken and noodles, and we had it today and yesterday. So yeah, I'm just sick of it. And then all the meals are on me. Sometimes we'll have also breakfast, because we don't get up and eat breakfast early in the morning anyway. So sometimes we'll have breakfast for dinner as well, or for lunch. And when he's not here, when he's working, because he's essential, I will make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because I'm just easy to feed, okay? I like tuna, but he don't like tuna, so can't make that. So, yeah, but just about any and everything. I made a cake the first week we were on lockdown, and I haven't made any more sweets since. I've been thinking about making some cookies. Some oatmeal raisin cookies, maybe. Dee Dee Hansen is here. Says Dee Dee from Saugatuck. I'm sure. I'm not even gonna mess with you today. Okay, I'm tired. And that's the other thing. I get so tired, and then when I go to bed, I'm just laying there looking at the ceiling. It's like ridiculous. I won't fall asleep. It's just terrible. Sometimes I'll get back up, and that's how I got those 5 quilts done so fast. I'll get back up and start working if I'm just laying there after hour after hour. Kevin the Quilter is here. Hi, Kevin. He says, hey, everybody, late to the party. Sorry. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, and that's what Bianca's saying, that she's also cooking for 2 days. I come from a large family, so it's very difficult for me to cook small portion meals. So whatever I cook easily can feed us 2 days. My husband won't eat the same thing more than 2 days. He's just not that type of person. Like, I can eat the soup and eat soup till it's gone. If it's a week, I'll be eating the soup once a day. He doesn't like that. But then if I make soup, then I'll share it with other people in my family. But other than that, I cook anything I cook for 2 days, or 2 meals anyway. Not necessarily 2 days, but 2 meals. Sylvia Henderson is here. Says, hi, T and everyone. Been on the front line. Being on the front line is killing me. Yes, honey. We appreciate you. But I also feel sorry for all the people that's got to go out there every day, because it is not a pretty picture. And Vicki Lemire says, thank you to all the frontline workers. Yes, indeed. All the way down to housekeeping, because people tend to forget about housekeeping, and they've always got to clean up the mess that's left behind. So, yes. Brenda Perkins is here saying, hi, everybody. Hi, Brenda. Welcome to the chat. And Kevin asked, did I make the famous? Yes, I did. I made the lemon cake, but I didn't do the caramel icing because my husband doesn't like caramel icing. Oh. And Vivian says she's been cooking too. She made 4 loaves of banana bread. And Bonita want to know, how are you doing Easter? We're not. It's just, as far as a family, we're not going to do Easter at all. We already had talked about it with my mom was concerned about it. And that's when we had the stay at home till March 31st. And then when they extended it through April, we just went ahead and officially canceled it. So I don't want to go around people who, I'm already around somebody that goes out, my husband being essential. I have him sleep somewhere else. Because I'm like, just go on over there somewhere. Because I don't want to get sick. And if something happens to my mom, then I've got to go take care of my mom. So, yeah. So it's different. It is totally different out here. So we're just going to ignore Easter. Just probably might just be, and people just might do their own studying at home and that type of thing. But other than that, we're not. And I know a lot of people are using Zoom, but my mom is not technology savvy to do that. But a lot of people are having meetings on Zoom and stuff like that as well. Wanda J is here. Hi, Wanda. She says, hi, T. Glad I saw you on live. It's been a while. Well, welcome back. Thank you so much for participating. Mary says, we have fruit left in the freezer, so I made banana blueberry muffins, peach cobbler, and now I'm going to make a strawberry crunch. Okay, be careful, girl. You want to be able to get out of your pajamas in the summer, girl. Be careful. Cheryl says, I've been trying new recipes to keep it interesting. I'm tired of cooking, though. Yes, Hunty, I am so tired. Diane says, Tom's boss wants me to make 100 to 200 masks. I only have for only $4. I told him, no way. 100 to 200 masks is a lot of masks for one person. Now, what I did find was some of the Longhorn companies have made it so that you can like sew 12 of them at a time on a frame. And so people are now using that, and it's making it so that it's a little bit faster for them to mass produce. So, and everything still takes time, you know, but it's still, you're doing more than one, and you're not sitting on this machine. You're actually doing it on the long arm, which is really cool, because I thought that was awesome. And Cheryl says, thank goodness my son is cooking, laughing out loud, just sewing masks for hospital here. Diane Me says, hi, T, good to see you. Hi, Diane Me. Welcome to the Teaquilts live chat. And Shakita says, yes, funny. My husband and I are both essential. I told him to stay 6 feet away. Yes, Lord. And since my husband has to go, he's out there anyway. And since when he comes home, when he gets off work, he does the store runs now. I normally do all the store runs, so now he does it. I just try to stay in as much as I can. And then stay away from him. When he come in, I'm telling him, you know, you got to wash your hands, and then I have all the bags and stuff, and I'm taking care of, you know, wiping down the bags with Clorox wipes and things like that, the store carry bags, because he doesn't have recycled bags. He's not going to do all that. Bianca Quilt says, I'm going to watch you on TV. I'm not leaving the chat. Okay. June Hansen says, I do video chats with my granddaughters, and that helps. Yes, I do video chats, or even just text. And I don't do a whole lot of video chats with family, but we do text or call whenever necessary. For some reason, my family isn't into video chat. I video chat with Kevin. I had to learn how to use it because he was calling me one time. Kevin says, I've been eating and sewing and eating and sorting scraps and eating. You better quit eating. Yeah, he showed a picture of him sorting scraps. It was like, oh my gosh. I don't know if I want my scraps to get that bad. But these were donated to him. So he was starting from scratch. Tiffany is here. Hi, Tiffany. She says, hi, T and everyone. I must have dozed off. You need to doze off. That's good. Get them naps when you can. Tucker is here. He says, hey, T and everyone. Can't wait to see those blocks tonight. Also, I finished piecing my grandma's purple log cabin quilt. Awesome, awesome. And then she says, oh, I'm here just not making my own videos. That's from Tiffany right now. I don't know why I closed that. Let me open that back up. And then we're going to go ahead and open one of these boxes. I guess I'm going to have to use scissors because this one's from Ellen Campbell. She's out of Lafayette, Indiana. And your boxes probably told you that they got delivered when they probably gave me. What they do is I have a P.O. box at UPS, not UPS, the post office. And they'll put a key in my small box to a larger box to pick up big packages. Now, they don't normally do that all the time. They'll wait until I get there. I have a card in there, and it'll tell me that I have a package I need to pick up. And so then when I pick the package up is when they'll scan it and say that it's been delivered. This time, since we've been in this lockdown, they've been just giving me a key to the bigger boxes. And then that means that they're scanning your boxes in at the time that they're giving me the key. Although, I haven't officially picked it up. So that's why you haven't seen some of them. So, yeah. So she's got stamps for her return. And she also has bags in here. And a note. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this swap. And she said she sent 52 blocks. I sent postage for a large flat rate box for my return box. I sent you a mask I made for you, T, to have. That's pretty cool. And she says, idea. Could you ask all of T's friends to make one mask to donate to a hospital or nursing home? I think most of us are making masks to donate to somebody or to a hospital or a nursing home. If anyone canceled a retreat, please let me know. I still would love to come. Thanks, Ellen. So, yes. And here's the mask. Oh, that's pretty cool. She did it like the shape of the bra cup. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure if this goes around the head or around the ears, but that's pretty cool. I'm not going to put it on now and look real crazy. I do enough of that on my own without any help. So she's got other bags inside of here. I'm just going to open one and show you all a couple of blocks, but she did say she sent 52. And I'll email her that I got them. I haven't even emailed, who was that from last week? Maria? No, it wasn't. I don't know who it was last week that I haven't confirmed their blocks officially, but they were in the chat. So I said, I know they know I got them, so I didn't worry about it. But here we go. We got a stack probably of 10. And then we've got the fan blowing, guys. So, so here's one kind of pastel. And then we've got this other one here. I'll show you this one instead. It's got more peachy colors. So thank you so much, Ellen, for sending your blocks. Still trying to figure out if various retreats are even going to happen. I'm hoping that they do not extend the lockdown, or that I want them to extend the lockdown if necessary into May. I want them to do that because I want to make sure that we're all safe. So if we need to have it extended, but I'm praying that if people stay home, that these numbers will go down drastically, and the people that are healthy just stay in healthy environments, and we'll all be okay. That's what I'm hoping. So, but if I got a retreat in the middle of May that may or may not be canceled, and it's up to me, I guess, or my group if we cancel. But if they extend it into May, I'm definitely going to cancel the May retreat. Because I called the lady where we're going to retreat, and she was like, you all can still meet if you want to. It's no big deal. But I'm like, if the state is closed down, it's not up to you to tell us that we can have a retreat. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. We're going to have to reschedule or something. I think she don't want to give us our money back. Because when we registered our retreat, we had to pay half down. But we're not asking for money back. We'll just reschedule it for another day. So I don't think she wants to give money back. But if the state is locked down, I am not going to a retreat center because that's not essential. And we're all over the age of 54 or something like that. I think we're all over 54. So I'm not going to be jeopardizing people's life. if we're not supposed to be out there. This second box, and I forgot to tell you that that was received from person number 19 -1 because Kevin hasn't sent his blocks in yet. Get your blocks done, Kevin. So this one is number 20, and it's from Tiffany. So I was kind of waiting for her to get into the room. She told me, I had texted her right before to tell her that her box had came, and she was telling me that she was gonna go take a nap. And then I took a nap too. We both fell asleep. T used this same packaging label to send back. Okay. Oh, so she didn't put another piece of paper. Okay. I think I have your email. Okay. Girl, y'all better do what I tell y'all to do, because when I'm telling you, I'm not the only one that's going to be sorting these blocks out because it's so many people and so many blocks. So, yeah. Be careful. Send me the stuff. Oh, it's in here on a card. Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's not nothing in here with her address. It's on the box, but if it gets, these things are going to come out of their packaging when we start sorting. And so I need to put something on the table that has your name and address. And that's why I'm having everybody add it on a piece of paper. I'm just going to tape the piece of paper. Like if this is what your name and address is on, I'm going to tape it to the table, and then I'm going to put your blocks on top. And then when we go to sort, we'll come back, and then when I pick your blocks up off the table, whatever name's underneath is who it's going back to. So that's kind of how it's going to work. So, yeah. Thank you, girl. I was getting nervous. Oh, that's a cute little card. Isn't that cute? And it's not as bright in here, guys, again, because I don't have the light that will make it brighter in here. She says, T, I hope all is well. Wanted you to know that you were one of the first channels I started watching when I first learned that YouTube had quilting. Well, thank you, Tiffany. Your videos inspired me to play with scraps of all sizes and have fun with it. Now, as you can tell, I use scraps all the time, and I have so much fun with them. So thank you so much for all you do and all the wonderful videos. By the way, I didn't talk at first on lives, but now I do, and enjoy all the great conversation and tips and tricks. You inspire me to keep having fun and create with what I got. So big thank you. Big thanks to you. Love your channel. Love bunches, Tiffany. So that's pretty cool. And then she's just letting me know that she put money inside for her postage because she had a problem with her post office as well. Some people did have problems with the post office. Some people put stamps in. They pre-purchased stamps, which is what Ellen did. So she must have had a problem with her post office as well. I don't know why they're all different when they're all the United States government. So, weird. She's got it inside of some plastic bubble wrap too, and a plastic bag or a Ziploc bag. So she put it on the end that was open. And she's got her name all over the place. So thank you. And she said she sent 54 blocks just in case they are needed. Thank you so much. And then we're going to show a couple of Tiffany's blocks too. Just pull some out. 54 for Tiffany. Okay, so she's got a note on this one. She says, T, this one is for you. I didn't plan it, but it's all floral leaves and polka dots with the perfect kitten. Hope you like how random this came out. Pretty cool. And got lots of strip piecing on it too. So you've got, let me take this off the front. I hate taking stuff off because sometimes I don't get it back on the right stuff. But we'll make sure we get it right back on there. But this is her block. And I know it's kind of waving in the wind here because of my fan. But got a lot of strip piecing on it as well. And the kitten fabric is cute. And this animal print. Very nice. Thank you so much, Miss Tiffany. And she's got her channel on it as well. So I'll show you. Now, Tiffany, I hope this all works out. As I said, I'm not going to be the only one doing blocks. She's got one here that's got Diane's name on it. I'm going to leave a tag on this one. Okay. I can't get it to not fly in the wind, guys. Hopefully you can see it. She's got some black background fabric in here, Tiffany. You weren't supposed to use black, girl. And then this is another one here. It got the Eiffel Tower fabric in it. I like that. And then what was on here for Diane? It's got the Texas boots, cowboy boots, violin, and some shoes. Very nice. So that was 3 of Tiffany's that I just showed you. Very nice. So thank you so much. Looking forward to having all of these blocks come in so that we can get them all sorted out. And back to you, and then see what you guys do with them. So that was it for blocks that came in. I only had 2 packages at the post office. And then I got one more thing I just want to show you that came in. Trying to make sure I don't show Tiffany's address here. All right. I was talking to you all last week about the filter fabric. It also came today. Everything was today. I had my brother call me. He needs masks too. And it's funny because I took it out of the plastic bag because I Lysol the plastic bag that it was in, and I didn't, and it was all over the bag wet, so I took it out. But what was amazing to me is I paid I think it was $38 with shipping for this. It was $25 for this filter fabric that I bought from, I told you, from Fealty.com, www.fealty.com. But what was amazing, they're selling me something for $25. They don't have an invoice in the bag. They don't tell me what this product actually is. I'm going to have to go back on the website and get the information off the website again. They just sent just this in the packaging, and that was it. And it did come UPS, though. UPS did deliver it, but it was just in a bag, and that was it. But I wanted to show you what the 20 is, because when I was online, it said it was 20 square inches. And a 20 square inches is just a 10 by 10, okay? No, that's not even 10 by 10, because 10 by 10 is 100 square inches. So their website is wrong. So I just ordered the smallest number because I didn't know how much I was going to get. So I'm letting you know what 20 will get you. So this is doubled this long. So it's bigger than 2 yards. So normally when I measure yards, I do like this. So this would be 1 yard, so that's 2. I'd say that this is almost 3 yards of filter cloth. And it's supposed to be the kind that they normally make masks with for the hospitals that you can breathe through. So I want to go back and print that information off that I saw on their website before it disappears, because this company did not normally sell to consumers. They sold directly to retailers who make, they would sell the product that they make from this to wholesalers. So this is the first time that they've sold to consumers, and I think they were overwhelmed. They didn't know how many orders they were going to get, because it took me 2 weeks to get this in the mail. I ordered 2 weeks ago, and they did send me a note about a weekend telling me that they were sorry about the delay in processing, but they didn't realize that they were going to have such a high demand for this material. So yeah, it does have, it's kind of like dotted on this back side. It's a little bit texture on this side, a little bit smoother on this side. I'm gonna assume this side goes to the face. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna have to go back on the website, get some information, because they didn't send me any information about this. But again, they don't normally send this type of stuff out, so they don't have anything set up to send with this. So just know that all you're gonna get is this material in the mail. So now I can go back to making some more masks, because I want to put some kind of filter in it to make sure that they are actually safe. And I want to also wash a piece of it before I make my mask to see how it washes, because when I wash mine, I tend to just wash with soap and water. Since they said wash your hands with soap and water, I figure washing the material with soap and water, because they tell you to just wash your clothes with soap and water and the viruses will come off with soap, is what they're telling everybody. So I figure wash this in soapy water, and then what I do with my mask is that I set them in, I just use the hot water from the tap, and then I just, once I rinse it out, then I put hot water in the sink, and then I let mine sit in the hot water for about 5 minutes, and then I come back and put more cold water in so I can rinse them back out, so I can squeeze the water out. And then I just let them hang to dry. I don't put mine in the laundry, because if you only got 2 masks, you don't want your mask to be lost in the laundry and you need to make a run outside all of a sudden. So I try to keep my mask clean and readily available. So I'll be making some more, but I'll test to make sure that this is washable before I put them in the mask, because otherwise it will be a waste of time. So I'll put it through the wash test. I'm going to wash with soap and water by hand, and I'm going to let it sit in hot water for 5 minutes and then see if the texture changes a lot. So let me see what you all are saying about this filthy cloth. A lot of you all saying that you love the blocks, so thank you all so much. Great blocks. Tiffany says, I couldn't avoid prints that had black because I use black so very much. Dee Dee says, will you give us some ideas as to how to set the blocks we get back? I'll do a basic setting. That's about it. That's all I can do. And then they'll be squared up to like 12 inches, maybe 13 inches. I don't know. Maybe 12 inches. That's what I'm going to do. And then you can do that or not. But I can't make 100 quilt settings. I don't have time for that. But I will do something so you will have something. But you can take these blocks and twist and turn them. Some people were saying 50 blocks is a lot. But if you do 12-inch blocks and you do 6 by 8, that's 48 blocks right there. So 12, then you put a 1-inch sashing in between. It's not so bad after all if you have a queen or a king size bed. So they tend to you can use them pretty fast. I know they're big. Let me go back up and see what I missed. Ray says, hey Faye, love to listen to you. This is your sister Pebbles, love you. Hey Marie. I call her Pebbles, her name's Marie. Mary says she's making her mask for hospice. Peggy says she's making masks today for family. I'll make more to donate. And yeah, and that's what I did initially, is because I have a lot of family that needs masks that work as essential employees. And so that's what I did. So technically to me, I've donated to those places, but I have not made any that I've like taken. I wanted to make sure that when I donated to particular places that my family had what they needed, because they did not initially. So yeah, you got to take care of your family first, especially if they're coming back to you. So, but I've already made masks for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people outside of my family or my household that are essential employees, because I wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. And when they had a house with a spouse, because I have a cousin that has lupus, and so I sent her 3 because she goes to a lot of appointments, and so she's in and out. And then I also sent her husband 2, so I couldn't just send her some. I had to send her and him some, so that makes it 8 for that one. But yeah, because I wanted to make sure that when he was taking her to these appointments that he wasn't being compromised. So yeah, I think I've made more masks than I think I've made. I need to start counting them. Last time I counted it was 26, but I know I made at least 3 more, so that's 29 I've made. And I think I have 2. My husband doesn't have any yet. I was waiting for this material to come in so I can make him masks. But yes, people saying that they're cute blocks. Peggy says that she has hers piece, but she doesn't have the frames on them yet, so that's pretty good. Diane's husband, he went to jail. He went to Harris County Jail this week. I know he went there probably for something, but the way she wrote it, it's like it's geared for more questions. Around here, the governor has said no to non-essential businesses can be open, and that's what we're kind of dealing with now, except that we still got like restaurants, service stations, and the post office. The banks are still open. I don't know. So your grocers. So yeah, that's basically what's open. Oh, Home Depot is still open because you could have something go wrong with your house and you need to do something, you know. So the hardware stores are still open. And it was something else that was still open. I'm blocking right now. I even saw construction workers, like they're building a Burger King in my neighborhood. And I saw that they were out working when I went by the bank today. The post office, not the bank. I went to the post office. So yeah, but that's what's supposed to be open is non-essential. I mean, essential business, and all non-essentials are supposed to be closed. Mary says, I was so mad our governor said churches and funerals couldn't exceed the 10 people rule, which I agree with. But then the stupid legislator overrode him. Oh my God. And I know it's very difficult. I've been seeing some stories, especially I saw some on YouTube where people were having, like they were only allowed to invite like 6 guests, because then you had the priest and his assistant, and then you had 2 people from the funeral home in attendance, so they could only have 6 people at a family member's funeral. And then they were like, the priest assistant was nice enough to record the service so that they could at least stream it for other family members. So it's just difficult right now. And then, you know, everybody that's passing, I know we've got a lot of deaths from this virus, but a lot of people that are passing have not passed from the virus, but yet they still can't be buried. Everybody's still in this. They can be buried, but everybody's in the same situation where you can't have the funeral regardless of how or what you passed of. So that's real difficult right now. And Kevin said, girl, you know I'm hand delivering these blocks. Are your blocks made, Kevin? That's the question. And Tiffany was letting me know that her note was in the bag. Okay. And I didn't see it when it came up on the screen. But I was like, oh my goodness, it's not here. Let's see. And Mary says, what a nice note, Tiffany. That is a nice note. So I appreciate that. And thank you so much. Diana Nelson is here. She's saying hi. Hi, Diana. I hope you're feeling good today. I'm trying to skip some of the comments because some people are talking to each other. Will you give us some ideas? I've answered that question on how to put the blocks together. And Diane says, how on earth did you get the fabric for filters? I mentioned it last week where there's a company, let me put it down here in the chat box, called Filty, and you order it from them and then they send it to you. They actually do yardage. So this is what they use to make mask out of, and they don't normally sell to consumers, and so they opened it up, and you can tell by their website because you have to click a drop down. They have a little thing up there on their site for you to click if you want to get the filter fabric to make mask. So they actually say that so you can see it. But yeah, but I'm glad I have it. I just got to go back now and get the information on it, because if I make masks and donate them to a hospital, I want them to know what's in it, and I don't want them to, you know, toss it because they don't know what's in it. I want them to know what's in it. So let me go back up here after I had to type that in. Diana says she also loves the blogs. Remo JS is here. Says good evening from Bowie, Maryland. Miss T and everyone. Hey, welcome. I've just put the website down in the chat box for you, Mary. T, can you use any non-woven interfacing as a filter? And a lot of people are using the non-woven interfacing as filter, but I just wanted to make sure that I had something that was really going to keep the particles out. I have not tested it, but a lot of people are making the mask and just using, they're taking one piece of their fabric and just ironing the interfacing over the front piece of the fabric. So that's what they're doing. So I'm sure you can. I just wanted to, I probably got non-woven interfacing downstairs, but if I'm going out and I want to make sure that I'm safe and I'm not worried about somebody giving me this virus, I wanted to have some of the filter fabric that they say will take out 90-something% of, you know, keep out 90-something% of anything in the air. So that's why I wanted it. Dee Dee says, are you sewing the filters into the mask? That's my intent. I want to sew them into the mask when I'm making the mask. On the other mask that I made my family members, what I did was, I told you about handbags, and I don't have any in here. Yes, I do. I just see one. Hold on. These type of bags that we get as gifts, this is from Books Are Fun. This material, I took some bags because I didn't see these before and then looked right over there and saw them. But I took 3 bags because I ordered some for my company that I would do when people placed orders when I was vending. And so I put their material in a bag similar to this. And so I put this material inside of their bag. And you all have seen these bags. And I put these inside. And the reason why I put these inside is because if you flick water on it, it doesn't go straight through. The water will, like if you put it under running water, yes, it's gonna get wet. But when you flick water on it, it doesn't go straight through right away. So if somebody coughs or spit on you and it comes out, it's not gonna go straight through the mask right away. And so you can make sure you leave immediately and go get that mask off your face before it soaks into this actual product, and then come in behind the other layer of fabric that's back here. So I made sure that I had 3 layers in all of my masks, and I still will probably do that when I run out of this, if I'm still making masks, because now I need to make them for other members of my family. So yeah, this is what I put in. I recycled, not recycled, I actually used the bags that I paid for that I needed to like keep to give to customers, but I couldn't find these. So this bag here is already starting to tear up, so I can't use it anymore. So I'm gonna cut this and put this inside the middle. They work very well for that, but like I said, it's not gonna hold off if it's just drenched in water. And the whole point is it's gotta be something that you can still breathe through. So I like it because it made the mask sturdier, but then also it's washable and it won't shrink. So that's what I put in. Doris O says, T, do you have time to come on during the day for a sew along? Probably once I get through quilting my quilt top, I could. I know I did not come on Saturday. I was in my pajamas all day and I just didn't feel like getting dressed on Saturday, and I thought maybe I'd do it on Sunday, but then I went back to quilting the ladies' quilts, and I guess I could have propped you all up there while I was quilting that, but then I tend to, when I'm quilting, since it's automatic now, I'm like bouncing all over the place, so I probably was cooking while I was sewing on Sunday, so it just didn't work out for me this week because I had work to do, and I'm one of those people that if it's somebody else's stuff, I want to get it done because I don't want your to-do on my list, and then all of a sudden you need it and it's not done. I haven't even told the lady. I got them done yesterday, And I haven't even contacted her to tell her that they're done because we're under lockdown. But I have been sending her pictures. I haven't sent her pictures of the last 2, but I have been sending her pictures of the previous 3 to let her know what the quilting looks like on the front, what the back looks like, and everything. So I've been keeping in touch with her, but I haven't even kept in touch with her once I got the 2 done yesterday. But I'll be sending her tonight. I'm gonna do it after I get off live, because I take pictures and then I gotta download the pictures and I gotta edit the pictures, and so yeah, it's just a process. So I haven't felt like doing the process because my house is hot. I'm burning up. But yeah, I could do some more things if it's if it cools back off here, then definitely. I'm trying not to cut on the AC and then have to cut the AC back off. I don't like doing that. So I'm trying to make sure when I cut this AC on that it's going to be on permanently. So I could. What days would you like, Doris? What day? Does it matter? What time? Because I can figure out, I can cut some project and then come here and we can do some sewing. And Tiffany says she'll be doing a video on how to do the blocks when the time comes. I don't know what block she's talking about. T, check your interfacing stash as it's non-woven. It works as a filter. I think I read that your comment before. How do you spell the company name for the cloth? It's down at the bottom. I am counting my mask and taking photos of them and photos of the people in the mask for an album. I did not do that. I think I took pictures of most of the masks that I made, and I've had maybe 2 people that have sent me a photo with them in the mask. So that was really cool. And Doris O says she used non-woven interfacing and flannel inside of my mask. On my first set of masks, I did use flannel on the inside, but I wore that thing outside. It was one of those warm days, and I was burning up. Flannel is so hot. So then I went back to using the 2 layers of quilting cotton. And then there was a study done on the mask. And if you use like cheaper cotton that if you can see through the cotton through light, they said that it wasn't a good cotton. So they do recommend quilting cotton when you're making the mask. Cheryl says yes, but those are essential. Joann's is still open, laughing out loud. Depends on what state you're in as to whether Joann's is still open or not, because I know Ohio shut them down. They didn't care because Joann's was trying to say that they were providing the material and kits to make masks, and that's why they were open. But then the people that I talked to said that when you go to pick up the material for the mask, they were also telling you that you could come in and shop for anything else that you want to get too. So yeah, a lot of people didn't like that, and they didn't think that it was like a whole lot of restrictions as far as being in the store per se, like how many people were in the store, if that was a problem. Elaine Doucette says, please no mask with pleats or directional. The pleats should be downward on the outside, upwards on the inside. And that's true, because if you have them up on the outside, they will collect debris. So anything that's falling down can go into your pleats. So your pleats should be down. Thank you, Elaine, for that. Cheryl says, my brother-in-law's cousin passed away from the virus last week. This virus is real. I'm so sorry that it's that close to you. Right now, I have people that I know, friends that have been sick, but nobody that I personally know has passed. But there have been a lot of people in the line dance community that I have danced with, but they weren't necessarily my friends. A lot of them have passed. So it's like last week was a bad week for me, because it was just like on Facebook, just over and over, somebody else had passed. So, but we did have a lot of good successes. Some people are coming out of it though. So sorry that you're experiencing that. Mary says 2 Lowe's employees here just came down with the virus. And see, that's the concern when you've got the essential things. And I forgot to mention that the bus drivers or people that are controlling your metro systems, those people are out in the public as well, trying to get the essential employees to work, and those people are coming down with the virus and also dying from the virus. And they said that they tested a lot of people in the Detroit area, the bus company, and it was like a huge number of them are positive for the virus. So it's just hard. So Peggy says a friend passed and the funeral was private today. They will have a memorial at a later date. So sad I couldn't attend and comfort the family. Yes, and that's what's so hard. And then it doesn't seem like it's really real too if you don't experience something of their passing for yourself too. So and I knew Tom was working in a jail. She talked about he had to do some electrical work. That was a big breakout at the jail, and he was not happy working. Exactly. Maddie Barnum is here. Says, hi, T. I am new, but have watched you. Love the information. Hi, Maddie. Welcome to the chat. Also, it's already 8 o'clock, so we should technically be signing off, but it's okay. We'll chat for a little bit longer. But if anybody got any quilt-related questions, you feel free to pop them in here as well. I'm just going through the chat just to do something. And then Tiffany and Mary are talking about how the prison has an outbreak when they're not supposed to have visitors, because you got the non-essential employees the essential employees who are coming in, and a lot of people that they say could be carriers, and you're not experiencing any symptoms. And I can understand that, because I remember when my mom got meningitis, when she was watching a lot of her grandkids after school, actually her great-grandkids after school. None of those little munchkins got meningitis, but she did. One of them was a carrier, and none of them actually got sick, but she got sick. So I can see where some people can be carriers and not even know. That's another reason that they're recommending that everybody wear a mask when you go out, because you just never know who's a carrier. Maddie says, do you use elastic? Yes, I do, but I tell you, I've only used my mask about maybe 4 or 5 times in the month from the say like March 9th or something, when I decided I wasn't going out anymore. That was actually my mom's birthday. I went to her house, gave her stuff, and I came right back home, and then I decided I wasn't going out anymore. So I'd say I probably only wore my mask about 4 or 5 times. Those elastics are horrible, but I have seen where people are using paper clips to pull the elastic further to the back. I've seen, and it also then makes it so that it's tighter on your face. And then I've also seen where people are making ribbon pieces that have snaps, and then they're putting snaps onto the elastic and hooking up to that. So I've seen different ways that people are utilizing not putting the elastic behind the ear. So I'm thinking about the next set that I make for myself. I'm going to try ties. I don't want to sit down and do a whole lot of ties, but I only have one more package of elastic, if it's even in here, I had saved for my family. I don't know. I thought I had one more. I don't see it. But and I got the stuff sitting over here from what I was cutting before. But yeah, so I'm hoping I still had a 1 pack of elastic, because I know I got to make some for my brother. So because he's I'm sure he's out working. Anybody in manufacturing or anything like that, they're still working, because garbage people, it's a lot of people that are still essential employees that are still working, and they have to use, some of them use public transportation to get to work, so you need to be protected. So I do use elastic, but I think on my next ones I'm gonna try to see if I can do that paper clip thing, because I forgot about it today because I was already in my car. And yeah, see if the paper clip thing works, and then I might make a few with ties just to see how they work, because I'm thinking I want to put the ties on the sides and then pull it back that way instead of putting the ties this way, if you know what I mean. Tiffany was saying there's an article about releasing prisoners early if they don't have bad crimes to get them away from sick people. It just depends on which state, because some states saying they weren't going to do it. Peggy says, I'm using the fabric from the reusable grocery bag plus 3 layers of batik. And that's another thing. And I saw another article that said batik fabrics were really good because of the thread count in them. And then you have somebody else come up and say they're not. But this place tested all of the quilting fabrics. They like batiks the best, and then they had just regular 100% quilting cotton, but not loose weave cotton. They don't want it to be a cheap cotton. But they tested it, and they came up to be like between like 70 to 90% effective in keeping out small microns. So I felt like our quilting masks are really good. So that's my home phone, guys. That's probably my sister. She's going to the grocery store tomorrow for my mom. So we'll check her later. And Dee Dee said they shut down Joann's in Michigan. I know they shut them down in Ohio. So I am in South Carolina. Yes, that is true. They were out of mask kits. Not that I wanted mask kits. They were out. I think they weren't necessarily out of the kits per se, but they were out of the elastic because you couldn't get elastic for a while from anywhere other than getting it, I guess, from China. Dora says, T, whatever time and day is convenient for you. I just a fun to quilt along with you and other members of the Teaquilt group family. Thank you. Okay, Doris. Do you have computer or Panto or freestyle your quilts? I do all of the above, but lately, since I've spent over $6,000 for this Butler system, I have been using that Butler system. I said it's going to do its job. So I was just asking Tiffany yesterday in Messenger, what should I put on this, on my purple quilt? Because it's columns, and I hadn't even thought about how I was going to quilt it. It's like screaming for custom quilting, but I don't want to do any custom quilting. So I'm just going to find we were talking, she found the perfect Panto, but I spent so much money on designs, I'm not buying another Panto. So I looked through my designs and I found something that's kind of airy and leafy, and I'm going to put it on there. So it's just going to be an all over design. I'm not going to worry about it, but there is a way to do custom quilting. But with me having those blocks on point, there is no way that I'm finna go in there and tell it where every last one of those triangles is on that quilt. So it's not gonna happen. So yeah. So I do all, but lately I've just been doing computer because I just got it installed the end of January. So I'm learning it. I think I have quilted like 14 or 15 quilts on it. That's why I've been getting some of those my UFOs done with my complete projects. And you all will see all of the quilts that I quilted for this lady, but it'll be in the video for the month of April, my completions, because I don't have anything else to show you yet. I'm hoping I get my purple quilt done and then I can show you that. T, have you ever quilted a 3D bow tie quilt? Is it difficult? I've quilted 3D quilts. Yes, it is difficult because when you're using a long arm, you cannot use an all over Panto because you don't want to go into those areas. If my hopper foot gets caught in there and it's stitching, then it's just going to keep stitching in that one place and it's going to cause a major jam. I can knock the tension out, knock it out of tension and everything. So it could be damaging to my long arm. So if it's something 3D on a quilt, I custom quilt it. Is it difficult? No, not really. It just depends on what you're doing. When I'm doing a particular area, I just pull the 3D part of it back, and then I go ahead and quilt. On one quilt that I was doing, I actually wanted to have them folded back, so I just quilted right over the top of it. So it's not difficult. It's just time consuming. depending on the quilting that you're doing. So it could be. Quilt Gal is here. She said, what pattern are you using for your mask? I'm actually using the measurements from Missouri Star, but I do want to try making some of the, just because the rectangular masks are easier, but I do want to start trying to make some of the more contoured masks, like this one here that Ellen Campbell sent in. Not necessarily this kind. They have a pattern for the Olsen mask, and I want to try that as well. So, and some of the masks you can actually slide your filter in and out, so you have a pocket so it's not in there permanently. That's why I want to do a wash test before I use this in any mask, so I know whether or not it's going to still hold up to being hand washed and sitting in hot water. So I don't know, because they didn't send me any paperwork. Okay, so I got to go back online and see if I can find some paperwork. Remember, most people in the hospital, when they were using the filter fabrics or whatever material the masks are made with at the hospital, they only used them one time and they went in the trash. They did not use them patient to patient. So this is all new to everybody at this point. Let's see. Bye, Cheryl. She's probably already gone. Tucker says, after this is all done, I will be posting a video on my YouTube channel, me quilting my grandma's quilt. Okay, looking forward to it. Mary says, they are putting buttons on headbands and putting elastic on the buttons and not on their ears. Yes, and I've seen that too, where two of the nurses had headbands on and they just had buttons sewed onto their headbands. So that's an option too for some ladies. I don't think guys are going to want to wear that. So I didn't mind. I thought the paperclip thing was pretty creative, because most business places, or most places, have a paperclip. And you just hook the ends of the elastic onto the paperclip and it just sits in your head. But I wouldn't want it on my head, because I felt like the paperclip would get into my hair and rip my hair out. But yeah. Diane says, I tried both elastic and ties. He says the ties gives him a better fit. And that's what I was thinking, because if you got the ties and you can pull it, you can pull it and put it as tight to your head, making this area lay a whole lot flatter, is what I was thinking. Jennifer H is here, says, I have used ties that's going around the head and then through the mask and tie in the back. It works great. 2-inch piece of material, double fold, and then sew. Okay, so she used ties that are going around the head and then through the mask. So she's putting it in like you put elastic in a waistband. She's putting it, like taking it into the whole circle, leaving a space for you to pull the tie through. Okay, so it's a loose tie is what I'm reading, I think. So that's pretty cool. Great idea. Didi says, I use elastic but connect with safety pin that is hidden in channel. The elastic goes through, then people can adjust the earpiece. Okay. People's ears are not all the same distance from ear to ear. Head sizes vary. That's pretty creative. And then Jennifer also agrees that ties are easy to tighten. Elaine F says, I use t-shirt strips. It stretches and it's soft. That's another great idea. I can't see the comments from back over there, so when it hasn't popped up here on my phone yet, so sorry. Teresa McCormick is here, says, sorry I'm late to live. No problem, Teresa, just welcome. Mary says, what is Butler software? I'm going to be doing a video on it. I'm so late with doing the video on Butler, because it was a whole saga with getting to the point where I could do a video. And I've been holding up, like, learning other things with Butler, because I wanted to do some of the stuff where I was actually learning on video. Because Butler is not, when you're looking at the screen, everything on it is not like you understood. You have to kind of know what you need to do next on your own. So yeah, I need to do a video on Butler, but it's basically piece of hardware with software that you add to your long arm quilting machine to make it auto stitch, to make it computerized long arm. Angela Stringer is here. She says, hi T and everyone, just finished making my pasta salad. All right. See, people still making stuff. Joanne's is still open in Toledo, Ohio. Okay. Bonita says, can you create a design in EQ8 and send it to your butler? No, I don't think so. I haven't looked because you have, think about every piece of something that's automated, you have to have a file format to make it talk to that other file format. And I don't think that EQ has a thing that I can save for the butler. I'm not absolutely sure. I'm going to just say no right now until I find out, but I'm not absolutely sure. I know that none of my software that I use on my embroidery machine, I cannot use it over there on my long arm right now. Now, I'm wondering if there's going to be some program that's going to come out that's going to be a conversion program that will convert one file to a different file format, then yes, I can. Betty Harris is saying hi to everybody. Francine is here, says hi T. Hello to all the T quilters, praying good health to everyone. I'm listening as I'm making masks for a nephew and co-workers that work as delivery drivers for UPS. Awesome. Welcome. Elaine's gone. Bye, Elaine. And thank you, Dora. She's reminding everybody to hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate that. Mary is saying Penguin and Fish have a YouTube that has a place for a filter in it. And Peggy says, yes, I made a filter sleeve. And you could also make a filter sleeve on the rectangle ones. It's just that you leave the space. You know, you just make your second rectangle smaller and then you fold in those ends. And, you know, before you sew it right sides together, you can still do it. Just a different way of sewing it together. But I just like to try to keep it all in one piece if I can. I know a lot of people were doing the filter things because they, with the intent that they were going to replace the filter. But if you give it to somebody and they don't have the filter fabric that you use, so they're still going to be using the same filter, if I'm not mistaken. But then some people were saying that they can stick in a paper towel inside of it and things like that. So it just depends. It's more than one way to do everything. And I did describe Jennifer's process correct. I'm glad I was hoping I was getting it. Quilt Gal says, how long is she making the ties? She wants to, so I'm hoping, I don't know if Jennifer has answered that question. Can you answer that question, Jennifer? I see she's down here saying she uses bias tape to create channel to run the ties through on the mask. But she doesn't say how long. Just the whole 42 inches of fabric. Make a 2-inch strip. Betty Harris says, can you use 100% cotton yarn for ties? You probably could, but I probably wouldn't because it's thinner and it's more probably prone to knotting. So I don't know if I would. It's just easier to get a knot into yarn. Jacqueline Devon is here. She says, T AccuQuilt has made mask dies, 3 for the studio and 4 for the go. I saw that and I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to order one. They even got them for the rectangles, but if I was ordering it, I would be ordering one like for the Olsen mask. But that's why I wanted to make one of the Olsen masks before I decide whether or not I wanted to invest in one of the studio dies, because that's what I would be buying if I was going to purchase one. So yeah, I saw that. So thank you, because I forgot to share that. I meant to share that and forgot. Appreciate that. Francine, and they were even, if you were a quilt guild, but I didn't understand how people were going to get these for free and be honest getting it for free, because they were saying that if you were a group that was sewing, they would send you free like one of their machines and the dyes to cut, or the dyes. I'm not sure if they're going to send a machine, but they would send you the dye at least for free if you had the machine. And then if you were making them for charity, they would just send it to you. All you had to do was they gave you a particular link to email somebody in their company. Now, I don't know how you're going to do that unless one person is going to do all the cutting, and then people are going to pick up from her, maybe from her porch or something, because we're not supposed to be gathering, especially most of us quilters are over 50. So, but yeah, but I did see where they even did community service with those dyes, which was really nice of AccuQuilt. Mimi G has a pattern I'm using now. That's from Francine. It's got, you know what? Everybody and their mama made a YouTube video for masks. And it's so funny because when you watch one, you get a whole list of other ones. And it's like they've got thousands and hundreds of thousands of views on these masks. So everybody is interested in how to get a mask, because almost every American is going to have a mask at some point, because in order to stay safe when you go out. So yeah, she said it's easy to leave an opening in the liner to insert a filter, and that's what I was just saying. Even on the rectangular ones, you can leave it open to insert a filter. Jennifer says I talked about that. Never made so much bias binding for ties in my life. Exactly. I do have a lot of bias tape that, you know, when I used to sew clothing, or I did a lot of, when I was doing sewing and not necessarily quilting, I used binding tape a lot on placemats, table runners, and things like that. Christmas projects, or any seasonal projects, like you know how you have those panel things you would just cut out and then you put 3 layers, quilted, and then you bound the edge. I use a lot of bias tape, so I got a lot of bias tape. Hoping I can use some of that. Jill Thomas is here. Hi, Jill. She says hi, T and everyone. Terry is here. Hello, Terry. Francine says that's for sure. Jennifer H says that she uses 50 inches for the tie, so you're going to have to cut lengthwise on your fabric instead of widthwise. Mary says 16 inches that she used, because Mary's, you got to remember, Jennifer's and Mary's are 2 different processes. Maria's gone. Bye, Maria. Jennifer's giving the whole dimensions down here. She says she cuts a 10 by 5 by 7 back. It's 2 pieces. 10 by 5 by 4.5, so that it will allow opening if the filter if desired. So she's overlapping the back like you kind of do a pillowcase, but then she's also leaving a casing to put that tie in. Mary is saying that the vaccine is at least 1.5 years away, and the virus will resurge next fall. So I'm thinking masks will be in demand for a long time. Yes, they are, and that's why a lot of people are getting real nervous about it. And even my brother asked me, and I said, you know, I'm waiting on this stuff to come in, so I couldn't, I didn't make him any yet. So I'm going to test this stuff out. But yeah, we're all going to need masks. And I'm figuring every person is going to need at least 2. So when you've got one that you're washing, and if you need to go out, you've got another one that you can wear. So you're going to need at least 2. Shrivia says she's making the Olsen mask for her sister. Diane says, I'm making for my cousin. She's going through chemo. Yes, Lord, please make for her. And Jennifer H is saying 10.5 inches. And Betty Harris says, when I first started with y'all, I needed a stash. I don't know. I don't now can make 20 quilts. So she was, I guess she's saying, I think it's just a correction thing that sometimes happen when we're typing. That she didn't have a stash and now she got enough to make 20 quilts. Well, guess what? If you probably think you got enough to make 20 quilts, you probably got enough to make 40, because I can take a store bag of scraps and make an entire string quilt from it and still have a full bag, it seems like, when I'm putting it all back in there. It's amazing how string seems to multiply. So yeah, I made my purple quilt from fabric that I got from this lady that I paid, like, I think $15 for a bag of purple. And I made that quilt, and that bag is still full, okay? So I'll be making something else purple. And my purple scrap drawer is filled. That's why I picked purple. I pick whatever fabric color. I got stuff laying around that I can't get into the scrap drawer. I'm like, okay, then you're the next color that I'm going to be making a quilt with. But yes. Francine says she has a lot of seam binding, bias binding, because every time I went to the thrift shop, they always had it. So, okay, guys, we're at 8:25. I'm going to go ahead and sign up. I've read everything through the chat thus far. Thank you all so much for coming on. And I see we just got Cherie from Tropic Studio saying, hi T, I finally arrived here. So very late, but I'll catch up on the replay. Yeah, but we're going to go ahead and end here. And I will see you all next Wednesday. If I get a chance, if I get something cut out on my one of these gold dies, I want to make a pineapple quilt. Maybe I'll see if I can find something to cut on my AccuQuilt Gold system. And then maybe I'll cut out some pineapple blocks and we'll come back here and sew. I haven't done anything with the gold pineapples, but maybe we'll do that. And I don't know if it's going to be Saturday. She wants a day one though. So maybe I'll do Saturday night and maybe Sunday afternoon or Monday afternoon. We'll do that. Okay? I don't do much in the early morning because if I'm up quilting all night, I may be sleeping till like 11 o'clock or something like that. So we'll shoot for those. If it don't happen, I apologize in advance, but that's my intent. So I'm going to try to get something cut that I can sew because I don't have a project right here now that's all cut out. And Gail saying pineapple would be great. All right. See you all then. Take care, everybody. Stay blessed and stay safe and use your mask when you go out. Bye, everybody. I got to lean over now to get to you guys.